So my whole back window here is out. I'm trying to gather things since my car is being towed. I have a little pile here going. I'm really shaken up. Here's the back. Oh no, look. Oh, well, that's sad.
Jen, it really, really sucks what she had to go through. To know that someone I cared about feared for their life, that now they're on their way to come to Miami to visit with me, and now, she's back home. Still shooken up, as anyone would be before this, after that experience. So, I only know one direction, and that's forward. I intend on finishing this road trip. 4 different whiplashes, which is fun. I'm all cut here. I don't know if you can tell from the seatbelt going down. Ow, that was dumb. From the seatbelt going down, and I'm bruised. My leg is bruised. My knee looks like it's starting to bruise. For those of you that are like, if you need to take a break, you do it. That doesn't bother me. That doesn't bother me one bit. What does bother me is when people tell me what I should be doing with my life, and what people tell me here's what I get. Well, I would have done this. Yeah, it's really easy for I to say what you would have done in a situation that you've never been in and a life that you've never lived.
Jacob the Carpetbagger eating his way across America.
How are you going to make it financially now that you don't have Christy's hard-earned income supporting all your dreams?
I am diabetic.
Hey guys, Dewmonic Abyss here, just got back after a week out at sea, and we are back to the same bullshit we're used to from Jacob the Carpetbagger, alright? This is peak fucking Carpetbagger. Another day, another pathetic display from this self-obsessed man-child. Prime content for the walking diabetic. So those of you familiar with Jacob's backstory know that he used to have a respectable job as a social worker. He was helping abused and neglected children. And, he had a wife and daughter. He was a family man. But he ultimately chose to give up the benefits of his government job. Chose to give up living the American dream. And he divorced his wife.
Jacob and I are getting a divorce.
Quit his job to further pursue his YouTube career. He finally ended up rebounding with one of his crazed fangirls, who you now know as Jenny Penny, someone that Jacob had built from the ground up because no one had any idea who she was before his YouTube channel. She's been grifting off his community the moments he got introduced to it. And skimming through her channel, yes, she is quite the repulsive creature. We know damn well that Jacob ain't fucking her, alright? I believe that deep down, Jacob is as disgusted by Jenny as we at home are. You and the audience are. I think this is evidenced by him being incredibly uncomfortable and awkward in their vlogs.
Oh boy, I don't know if you guys have seen the new Jenny Penny vlog, but oh my god, her and Carpetbagger have zero, and I mean zero chemistry. If I were a new viewer, I wouldn't even think they were together. But in this vlog, Jenny comes off very unhinged, like an obsessive fangirl.
So look who it is!
Hey.
It's a Jacob!
She even calls Jacob her knight in shining cutlery, obviously making fun of the fact that he overeats and indulges himself like some sort of wild boar.
I needed him because he's my knight in shining cutlery.
And then there's Jacob, who looks like he's being held at gunpoint in this vehicle. He clearly doesn't want to be there. He's only there for the meatball and her disgusting little cardboard box he's holding. I think that Jenny Penny should end up on, like, a list or, a sex offender registry or something, because she's clearly taking advantage of this autistic gentleman. He doesn't want to be there.
And just the fact that this man went out of his way to get a vasectomy, alright? That's the biggest fucking slap in the face. You know damn well this guy does not want kids with her. He made that loud and clear. But somehow, Jenny has deluded herself into thinking that this guy is madly in love with her. When realistically, she's just there to stroke his ego. She's a fangirl. She worships the ground he walks on. And she isn't going to be like Christy. She isn't going to give him any type of pushback when he decides to put his YouTube channel first. And that is exactly what we are witnessing here today. Jenny wanted to meet up with her hostage, her prisoner of war. You see, Jacob had escaped from her, and he's been away from her since March. She got in her car, and she drove to the airport to fly out to Florida and be with her loving boyfriend. Well, on the way there, she got into a car accident. After calling Jacob, evidently shaken up, bruised, and sore all over, informing him of what had happened to her, Jacob decided that the show must go on.
We'll work forward with this. I intend on finishing this road trip, and then I plan on going home. I haven't been home since March 13th. I miss home. I miss Jen. I want nothing more than her to be here with me for this last bit of the trip. But, it's just not gonna, things just don't always work out how you want them to do, how you want them to. So, I don't know, guys.
He doesn't want to fly back and take care of her. He has more important things to do, like vlogging at McDonald's.
So I guess, they bragged about how fast they could make your food back when fast food was still being introduced. And I think this is interesting too. It says over 115 billion sold. Now, I don't necessarily remember back when the signs looked like this, but when I was growing up, they actually had a ticker that showed how many billion were sold.
The audience was definitely hyper-focused on this sign. Right, that's what they were commenting about. That's what they were smitten by. Instead of the part of the video where he talks about his girlfriend getting into an 8-car pileup.
So basically, she got hit at least 4 times from behind. The cars all piled up. When she was on the phone with me, there were still people trapped in their cars. Actually, during the phone call, the firemen showed up and started prying people out of their cars.
The sign clearly takes priority. It's crazy. And, when the criticism gets bad enough, he's gonna blame this on his autism. Because most sane people in his audience are telling him that he should fly back, that it's okay to take a few days off vlogging. Jacob, this is not autism. This is YouTube narcissism. You are once again taking your family for granted. You have people rooting for Jenny to fucking leave your ass. And I'm not gonna lie, when it inevitably happens, I'm gonna be the loudest one laughing.
Listen, here it is, folks. I love you guys. I love having the comment section open because I love to hear you guys talk about when I show stuff like Lion Country Safari. I love hearing you guys. I love hearing your thoughts. I love hearing your memories, your stories from there. I love sharing those places with people that have never been there. I love hearing what you guys think about it. I love hearing what you think about these places. But what I don't really care for is people calling, my integrity into question, acting like me and Jen are not adults that can make our own decisions. I don't like when people are Big Daddy says he says one thing and runs, the usual troll move. Absolutely. Me and Jen are adults. I make my own decisions. Jen makes her own decisions. And when there are decisions involving both of us, we make them together. And it is very very insulting when someone thinks that they know better than us for our lives and what we're doing. So no, I don't appreciate it. I don't appreciate when someone feels like they can make judgments about me.
You're a fat, balding, middle-aged loser. You think you're way more important than you actually are. And you have zero integrity. If you could get 1 million views shoving Jen off a cliff, you'd take that in a heartbeat.
You want to chat about what happened? That's fine. But if you're going to come here, if you're going to be, criticizing my integrity, if you're going to be calling me and Jen's life choices into question, just don't do it. Do it somewhere else. Post it on your YouTube channel. Post it on your social media. Go stand on a street corner and shout it at strangers, but I just don't want to hear it.
Well, you heard the man loud and clear. If you want to judge his integrity, do it right here on this YouTube channel. Like and subscribe. Leave a comment. Thank you for watching. This was The Walking Diabetic.